What up, y'all? Um, Frankly, I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this, but I need someone to talk to. Mm, I chose you. Mm. Where to begin? First things first. Like I said, try to do a video a month, maybe at the end of the month. For you guys. Give you a little update. Mm, what I'm doing, what I've been at, and where I'm going. Um, the reason why I want to chat with y'all, because frankly, I don't have no one else to talk to or share this with anybody that's really gonna care. I don't know. But I had a wild ass night last night. Almost got into a fight with a homie. We squashed that, and that was all cool. But when we came home, me and my mother got into it, and we don't get along like at all, at all. And she knows that, and I know that, but she acts like she doesn't know that. If that makes sense. Anyways, but long story short, she was in a lot of pain. She's like narrowing down like 60. She's like 60 something years old. And I just turned 30, November 20th. And she's trying to get out of bed, struggling, trying to get herself together, struggling. And I said, hey, listen, let me go with you. Let me help you pay whatever bill you have to pay today. Just let me assist you. Well, apparently that triggered her. There was a heated argument that ensued. And at this point now we're outside and she's trying to get in the car. And I'm like, please don't let me stand here and see you in pain. We can either go inside and find an alternative, or you can let me drive, or I can just do it all myself. But whether you like it or not, you're getting older, I'm getting older, is going to come down between your two kids, because I only have one sibling. That's my sister. It's going to come down between two of your siblings or two of your children to take care of you. And obviously, by how you associate us, how you socialize around us, how you operate and act around us, it's me. Me. I don't want it to be me. It shouldn't have to be me. But I digress. That triggered her even more. And let me get real personal with you all. And when I told her, it was like, hey, look, I seen this coming in a dream, this exact moment, which is very common for me. I have dreams like that. I guess you can say, premonitions, some would say. And that's no joke. I'm not trying to clout chase or anything like that. That's an actual thing. That's why I'm sharing with you all, because that I don't have anyone else to share these things with, right? And when I told her that, she was like, "You're scaring me. You're scaring me. You're scaring me. You're the one that would always tell me I'm different. And it be true. It would make no sense that you tell your child that he's special in like a supernatural way and then turn around when he's adult and he's understanding it more that he's using it and he sees the messages and it scares you now. Okay. I just said okay. Sorry for that. But I told her, okay, listen, I'm not trying to scare you, but yes, I did see this in a dream. And you're gonna wild out. You're gonna be scared or whatever, but you're gonna wild out. You're gonna go in the middle of the street and start screaming, hollering, yell. I just want you to go back inside. Go back in the house. What she end up doing? She goes from the car. I'm like, yo, like, no, just forget it. Like, let's take a back seat and we'll find another way to pay bills. She's like, no, she's stubborn. My mother's she's stubborn, all out stubborn. Like, you want to talk about strong, independent woman? She's that times 20. She's from the fucking mud, the trenches, the streets, whatever you want to call it in your generation, that is my mother. And she is that, and she does not care about anything else other than like her mission or her objective. And her objective today was to, you know, go all out and try to pay bills. And I'm just like, Shirley, like, get in the house. At this point, she's in the middle of the street. She's literally in the middle of the street, screaming, hollering, yelling, like, help, help. He's hurting me. He's hurting me. I just have an arm. I did one of those gentleman things where, like, you wrap the lady's arm around your arm, right? I did one of those things. It's like, Shirley, I'm not letting go. You're not getting rid of me. You're not about to do this like whole victimizing bullshit thing. Because from what our family has shown us, from what your daughter has shown us, from what my father has shown us, and us meaning me and my mom, what your daughter's father has shown us is that it's between us. Fun fact: on her mother's deathbed, my grandmother's mother, or my grandmother, my mother's mother, on her deathbed, even before she got to her deathbed, she stressed to me, one, that I wish I could see you grow up to be the man that you are now today, and two, promise me you will always take care of your mother because no one else will. Oh, I say yes. I was young, but goddamn, why I say yes? Why I say yes? I know why I said yes. I think, I like to think, but any male, any man that identifies himself as man understands that when your elders is closing in on their deathbed and have not only said it and stressed it before they got to the deathbed, but when they were at their deathbed to take care of your mom, you know that's something that cannot be broken. You know that is something that you have to honor and respect. Because for someone to use their last final minutes on this earth to tell any of their relatives, any of their children, grandchildren, nieces, and nephews, that you must take care of your mother, then you would do it. And I don't know how to put in the words the fucking pressure that brings, the fucking anguish, fucking agony it brings. And don't get it wrong, like my grandmother knew all good and well that me and my mom do not get along. Me and my grandmother literally took turns being my mother's psychological punching bag and having to team up on my mom to calm her down at times because she would get so outraged. She would get so emotional. She would just be so in her head and be worried, and she would just say the most vicious, foul things. But my grandmother knew what she was doing. I was very close to my grandmother, my mother's mother. And it's days like today that I see why a lot of men don't make it past 30. I really do. I see why a lot of men will end it at 30. But I can't. Can't. My soul won't let me. And it hurts. It's torn. But finish the story. She's in the middle of the street. She's screaming. She's hollering. She's playing this victim role. I'm telling her, no, you're not gonna play this victim role. You're not gonna, because that's her pattern. That's her motto, is to play the victim role, blame someone else, don't take any accountability of herself, no accountability of her reactions or anything like that, and then label me as the villain, label me as the threat, um, simply because I have honestly, simply because I'm a man. Like she full well knows and will play the male versus female role. She will play it. She will play it very well, and she's been doing that since I was 13 years old, saying that I intimidate her, that I've tried to hurt her or anything like that, and I have never done that. Never even thought about doing that. How are you going to say you're intimidated by me when I'm the one having to sleep with knives under his pillow at night because you've been threatening him so much with a gun, pointed a gun at him, and brandished the gun itself around the house that you were going to shoot him with? But I'm the villain. And that's fine. That's cool. That's perfectly fine. Well, what's not fine is that it affects other relationships with me, right? So she's saying like, get off me, you're scaring me. Where we'll just give this, that, and the third. You're hurting me, this and third. Which once again, at this point, she's like 6 feet away from me, and she's screaming and hollering, yelling, "He's hurting me! He's hurting me! He's hurting me!" I'm like, just like, what? How? Like, talk about fucking PTSD. Trigger warning flashback. I literally went to fucking 15 years old. She literally did the same exact shit when I was 15 years old. Said the same exact shit. He's intimidating me. He's threatening my life. He may or may not have a weapon. Like, just anything. Anything. anything to make me seem like I'm a bad person, I'm a villain. The stereotypical angry black man. Um, and I said, you know what? Fine. Go to the neighbor's house. If that's the way you feel, go to the neighbor's house. And thankfully, a neighbor had called the police. The only reason why I say thankfully, because I was going to call police. And unfortunately, um, everybody in my neighborhood, or at least in this neighborhood, this cul-de-sac, knows like I have mental issues. I might have episodes that are exposed publicly. She has mental issues. Daughter has mental issues. Like this whole family has mental issues to a point where the it might go from inside the house, outside the house, if that makes sense. All right. And I was explaining to the police officers. This point, I'm back at my front door, or back at the front door, and they're there, and telling them like, "Hey, like, thanks for coming." Like, that's they off bat. They're like, "Yeah, we don't know who called the police, but we know someone in the area called police." I was like, "Yeah, thank you for calling the police, or thank I know because the neighborhood knows. Like, when something goes on around this household, it's a mental thing. It's not a violent thing. It's not a like someone's hurt or bleeding thing. It's just straight up mental dispute. It's a fucking family dispute, civil dispute, this, that, and the third." And I'm running down the whole situation, and they're like, "All right, well, um, you're gonna have to go to the courthouse, and you're going to have to file a mental warrant on them, on your mom." They also said something about like a DSM or something like that. Wherever I don't know. They were saying a bunch of letters and going to the courthouse. And if you really want to make a move and do something serious, go to the courthouse. So that's what I'm probably gonna do in the future. Um, but after that, telling me that, and me telling them like, yo, like this is consistent. Like she's showing me that like there's a lot of mental um there's not stability in her mental health at this point, and I don't know what to do. And so that's when they gave me the rundown, and they were like, all right, so we have to go over there and check on her. So they went to the neighbor's house, checked on her, came back, and of course she did the whole cliche run around. He's a drunk, he's an addict, he's abusive, he's threatened, he's angry black man. I fear for my life. It's just a list. It's just a straight list that she's memorized and focused on continuously over and over and over and over and over again. Because she's been said it so many fucking times. She's then literally used the police against me, and this is someone who comes from the civil rights background. So yeah. Tell me about it. I know. Don't I know. Tell me about it, but don't tell me about it. You know what I mean? And when the police came back to me, they were like, "All right, well, she says you have her keys. So do you have her keys?" She said, "Do you have her purse?" I was like, "I don't have her purse. I do have her keys because she gave me her keys. She gave me her keys." I told her, "Please give me your keys. Let's go inside." She refused to go inside. She didn't want to do that. They were like, all right, well, that's our property. Those are her things. You don't necessarily have to leave. She didn't ask you really to leave under our accord. But probably one of y'all two might want to give each other some space and then come back to it. I was just like, it really don't matter. You're probably going to come back. Like, it really don't matter because this is going to happen again within the next 2-3 months. If it's not her, then it's me. Plain and simple. And they were like, oh, wow, okay. Well, she has her stuff, or we're going to give her stuff, and She said her sister's coming to get her, which she did. But her sister came. But my sister pulled up. My sister pulled up at this point, and the police went over there. They talked to her, and I tried to chime in. And one of the officers was like, "Hey, you know what? I got this, buddy. It's all right. Let me." Basically, was saying like, "Let me hear her story about what's going on." And my sister flat out was just like, "I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything what's going on." That's fucking funny because 2 months ago I told you this was going to happen. I literally told her 2 months ago that this was literally going to happen. This day was going to fucking come. I'm going to have to fucking put out a mental warrant on her or something like that, or the police are going to get called because she's trying to strain herself and she's getting older and no one's going to be there to take care of her but fucking me. It's going to land on me. It shouldn't have to, but it does, right? So my sister tells the police officer, "I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything about the world." Just get right. I overhear the police saying what my mother told her, or what my mother told them, and one of the police officers looked at me. I looked at him and was like, "You want to look at me in my eyes again and tell me I'm under the influence? Go ahead. Go ahead. By all means, right? Because I'll tell you the truth. But they were dispersed, and my sister came into the house. At this point, I'm in the house, and at this point, I'm just trying to center myself. At this point, I'm trying to pray. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to do something that doesn't make me fucking break my mind. You know what I mean? And it's sad, but I bring up the fact that, like, 2 months ago, I was telling you I'm gonna do this with or without you. Because at this point, hell, within the past 5 years or past 5 days, she has shown me quite a bit of instability. And my mother doesn't really go out, nor does she show any of her mental illnesses, nor can you like pinpoint her mental illnesses unless you are like living with her. That's it. And when I bring this up to my sister, she's just like, "No, no, Leroy, no. You're drunk. This is your problem, and I'm licking it up." And I just look at her. I was just like, did 2 months ago what I said to you not make any sense to you whatsoever? Did any of what I've been trying to tell you for the past 5 years? And at this point, I'm outraged. I'm triggered. I'm hurt because not only am I living, not only am I in the house that I've had most of my trauma happen, most of my childhood trauma happen, and I see her, and most of her trauma, she's been either ran away from or had outings for. Well, as far as in me, I've there's no really outings for, but it does have to do with our lifestyles and this, that, and the third. But I don't really hold her to that. But when it came down to our mother and her finally getting help, and I literally brought this up to her. I was like, "I told you this is going to happen. I told you I was going to need help. I told you if I fucking see this, if I see this in a dream, it's real. I kid you not, I had a dream about today, like all of this today, like my day's not even over with. And I've seen all of it. Some way, somehow, I don't know. It's irrelevant at this point. Because at this point, I want results. I want solutions. I don't want fucking excuses. I don't want fucking mystical answers. I want results. And apparently, I'm gonna have to make them. So when I tell her, yo, I told you this like 2-3 months ago, like this might happen, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna see this in a dream, and if it happens in a dream, then I'm gonna do it. And when it does happen, I'm gonna need your support. And what she does, no, you're a drunk, you're an alky. Literally the same rhetoric that my mom villainized me for, she says the same thing. That blew me all the way off. As it should. As it should. As siblings, I don't care what nobody say. As siblings, regardless if you're getting along with your brother or not, your sister or not, no matter how dirty you do each other, the parents are always taking care of by the child. Always in this society. In other societies too. Always. Their mental health, their physical health, their emotional health. It's always checked by the child. Always. And so I'm looking my sister dead in her eyes and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with you? What is wrong with you? How do you not see? Your mother was in the middle of a street screaming, he's hurting me. Her own son. And you have the nerve to be like, oh, you're just drunk. You're just crazy. I told you this 2 months ago this was going to happen. You still ain't listening? Hey, are you listening? Are you listening? Hey, you listening to now? Are you listening to now? No, you're not. You still ain't listening. Because the same rhetoric and the same BS is still happening. And so I got outraged. Yes, I did. I raised my voice like I'm raising it now. I'm just like, dude, 2 years ago, you and my father, not your father, my father apologized to me for the abuse she's put through me. The abuse that she put through, the abuse that she put on me. How in the same month, both my father and my sister apologize about the abuse I saved them from? Hey, my synchronicity is popping. My synchronicity is on point. You hear me? I ain't got now one time question my synchronicity, question my gut instinct at all. And moments like this show me that I don't show me that I don't know. I know less than I did an hour ago. That's what it shows me. But we get in a heated argument and she's like, oh, you're reflecting and you're narcissistic and you're this and you're that. Woman, 2 years ago, you and my father told me sorry for the things our mother did to me. And here you are now trying to villainize me just like her. Like, I don't know what to say about that. That's why I gotta make a video about this shit. Like, I can't make this shit up, yo. I can't make it up, bro. Like, I don't even know what to do or say after this. Like, am I a freak? Is my mother really my mother? Is my father really my father? No. But no, we went at it, and I was just like, dude, shut the fuck up at this point. And then I was just like, you know what? I picked up both of the remotes. I picked up that Fire Stick remote. You know what I mean? Jailbroke, of course. You know what I mean? I turned on the TV. I said, look, you know what? Because she was very adamant about me leaving, right? Me leaving. Even though she knows that this same scenario is going to happen within another month or two. Or you know what I mean, like a couple months later down the line, it's going to happen same thing again. She's going to call my mother's going to call me, say, hey, just stay with me, or this, that, and the third, or come help me. And then I end up staying with this, that, and the third, or Rubik's Cube. It's the same runaround. She knows this. But I was like, you know what, look, I'm gonna put on Netflix for you, right? Just chill out. Well, what are you going to do after that? After I pray? Yeah, after you pray. After you pray. Cause your mother doesn't want you here. I was like, so if I want to, I can pray again. And then after that, I'll probably pray again. Then after that, I might make a video like I'm doing now. Then I might pray some more. This is the only thing I know what to do right now. Might fill out some job applications and then pray again. Okay, well, that's not gonna work out. I was like, excuse me, um, you have no right to rush me and or try to put a hold on me. Okay? You don't. You have no right. You have no right. When I say I'm going to pray, and if I want to pray for 4 hours straight, or if I want to pray for 6 hours straight, I'm going to do that and I will do that. That has nothing to do with you at all. At all. And it doesn't matter. Because you know this is going to happen again. Well, and this is my sister at this point. Well, no, you can stay with me. And I was like, why would I stay with someone who's just the patsy? You're literally a forming copy of her. Why would I stay with you? Why would I want to be with you or be around you when you do and show the same traits and the same actions and behavior and same reactions as the person that is the most abusive person in my life? Why? Didn't understand that. So at this point, I'm in the house. I'm at my Busadon. I'm looking at my Gohanza. I'm just talking to my Gohanza. And for those who don't know what the Gohanza is, it's a scroll. I'm Buddhist. I'm Nichiren Daishonin Buddhist. and and I'm just talking, and I'm just like, yo, like, seen this coming. Don't know why this is happening. Like, Mary, like, I'm gonna pray for you, Mary. I'm gonna pray for Robert Mormon. I'm gonna pray for Leroy Goff Sr. I'm gonna pray to my ancestors because I just don't know what else to do. Because it's just like this shit's gonna happen over and over again. The shit still has steady happens over and over and again. And it's just like, am I causing it, or is it the effect of me? Like, or you know what I mean? Like, since I'm the central factor or the common factor, if I take myself out of it, will this still happen? And come to find out, it does. So with me in it or not in it, it still happens some way somehow. Um, me being in it, that is. If that makes any sense. I'm sorry. I'm kind of rambling, but anyways, um, I'm looking at the Gohanza. I'm just talking to Gohanza. I'm just like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, this is it. This is raw. This is real. I have to get my mother help. I have to find a way to get her help. No one's gonna fucking do it. None of her family members do it. None of her nieces or nephews are gonna do it. They're all, they all leave it up to me. Ever since I was a fucking young tyke, they've always just like, y'all don't get along, so that's y'all's problem. And I was just like, all right, cool, it's gonna be my problem. But I shit you not, if I get older and I have mental breakdowns, do not look at me cockeyed and crazy. Do not judge me at all. because you left a 10-year-old child to handle a grown adult's mental issues. You literally did. Every single last one of you all. Every single last one of you all. And then when I turned 17 and tried to literally get help, like if you're out there in the world and you're trying to get help, what's the first thing you do, right? You go to your closest friends or family, right? That's the first people you go to, right? Every single last one of my family was just like, it's your fault. It's your fault that you're living this way. It's your fault that she yells at you. It's your fault that she hates you. It's your fault. Everything. Just everything's my fault. Everything's my fault. Everything. But when I went to my friends and when I went to my friends' parents, they were like, yo, I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry you have to go through this. And like they would feed me. They were bringing me into their home. They would find homes for me to stay at. They'll, I would sleep at friends' house 3-4 times a night. I was just getting away from the abuse and the struggle and this, that, and the third. And I'm telling this to my Busadon, and my sister's on the other side of the wall, right? And I hear her. And she's so adamant about fucking being right, about fucking insulting me, about fucking putting me to shame. I start commenting and spectating like, are you really going to sit there? I've asked you nicely 3 times without raising my voice to leave me be. And you antagonize me as you are a fucking child. And this is before I got in the chair. This is before I sat down in front of my altar. Oh, you want to pray, but you're still not praying. You want to pray, but you're still not praying. You want to pray, but you're still not praying. You're 40 years old. And you are talking to your little brother as if you're 12. What is wrong with you? I swear for God, if you answer my fucking comments. It's sickening. But I'm like, dude, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me be. Leave the house. It does not matter. You say we don't get along, but yet still here I am. You obviously know she's going to call me back, so it does not matter. It's redundant. It's redundant for your fucking patsy ass fucking defense. It don't make no sense. Why? It don't matter. It really doesn't. Because she's still going to try to beat my brains in. She's still going to talk nasty, dirty, vile, vicious things about you behind your back to me. Why are you defending her for? And she didn't have nothing to say. The only thing she had to really fucking say boiled down to, it's my fault. It's my responsibility. I'm an addict. I'm a junkie. I'm an alcoholic. I'm this, I'm that. Just shame. So you had that's all you got is shame? After all the abuse your mother put you through, all you got to do is tell your younger brother who's been saved you from abuse is shaming him? That's why I was like, man, shut the fuck up and just leave me alone. Yes, I said that. Because at that point, I got a right to say it. Because neither my father nor my sister fully understand the fucking abuse I saved them from. Till this day. And I don't know the fucking mental disease or my fucking mom is fucking that good getting in someone's head, but I ain't falling for it. This video is way too long. Said too much. Now hurry up.